Please just take what resonates and leave the rest, okay? So I set the intention that my readings are timeless and that they are, there is a message of growth for everyone who watches them. So, and they find you at the right time. So, just keep that in mind. But you have to use discernment for, the message, of course, because it's general. Don't know why I got off on that also, or the Jennifer thing. So, Jennifer, if you're watching, hello. Let me know that it was for you or something. I don't know. Anyway, Page of Swords. Here's what it looks like. This is pre-shuffle. We're going to lay out a spread. It looks like somebody's watching you. Somebody's watching, trying to learn. Either you are, or roles could be reversed. But it looks like it has to do with somebody who left, came in quick, and then left, or somebody that came back and you pulled away from. Somebody's watching. Okay, learning, and I think the situation that didn't work out, the vibe I'm getting is it didn't work out because there wasn't enough growth or movement towards stability, or almost even like personal growth, or soul growth. I don't know, something like that, but we'll see. And I got that because of this Hangman. So it was like there was a return, but then it wasn't different, or I don't know, something like that. So anyway, how are you? Hope you guys are well. Thank you so much for watching. So you got 6 of Coins, Generosity, King of Swords. It feels like somebody what I'm picking up on is it feels like there's a lot of giving, but someone else seemed just like unfazed by the giving. And I'm wondering, because I'm getting these swords, I'm wondering if one person in this dynamic has like maybe an anxious attachment style where, they want to prove their worth and they give, and the other one has an avoidant attachment style, whereas they trigger you. Those two attachment styles will trigger each other because the anxious attachment person will want to feel security. They need to feel security, fear of abandonment, and this avoidant attachment person could, and it's getting really deep for a pre-shuffle, but this avoidant attachment person is deep down afraid of believing or being let down. So it's kind of like these insecurities may be the same, but they manifest in different ways. This person may avoid attachment or diving into, so they do want that deep connection, but it takes them longer to get there. And so, which is uncomfortable for the anxious attachment person, because the anxious attachment person views any little sign as, oh no, they're not into me, or they've got one foot out the door, or whatnot. But really, it just takes time for the avoidant attachment. This is crazy. I've never talked about this in reading before. It takes time for the avoidant person to, months before they're ready for something secure and to where they fully give. But a lot of times those avoidant people, when they do finally give, they give. They really do get there. So it's like there may be something along those lines causing bumps in the road or a lack of, fluidity, because it's triggering each other. Of course, twin flames trigger each other too, but I'm really wondering how many twin flame scenarios have real strong opposite attachment styles that are triggering each other. Okay, so here's Hermit. I say, there's swords again. Yeah, somebody pulls back. But see, a lot of the problem here is, now I'm not talking about, of course, if this is somebody that's never given, and I'm not saying that you're supposed to stay in a situation that's not, that brings you down or is unhealthy, but somebody pulls back, and it seems cold and hurtful, but it's because they need to adjust to those feelings at a different pace. So here's Ten of Swords. Somebody pulled back. There's a painful ending here, but I'm still not feeling like everything is, what it seems. All right, so your energy is Strength card. That's beautiful. Being strong, balancing the lion and the lamb. Page of Coins. You're strong and able to communicate. You know, when two different attachment styles get together, it's hard. And it's like there tends to be like a lot of blame, but it's really, there's just a major, you know, like misunderstanding, and avoidance can't always communicate very well. This looks like you're a very big communicator. Yeah, avoidant. Look at that. And I think it's, somebody's going crazy because of someone else's avoidance. And the more you push or try to talk, the more defensive or withdrawn they'll become. But here's the good news. If two people are willing to be aware and understand how to help each other and what triggers each other, it's a big healing thing. So you may need to look into attachment styles. Okay, so World card. The cycle completing. I think it's easier for someone here to kind of bail on the situation rather than get their hopes up. That's what it stems from. But there's this person, if this is your person at the bottom, they've got 10 of Cups. So this may be because of a situation that they've been in, that they lost, or family, where like it's easier not to have the full happy family, 10 of Cups, happy wife, happy life scenario, because then you know, kind of makes you risk. I'm not saying this is true, but I'm saying this might be a mindset. Because then you put yourself in a position where you risk losing it all again. So King of Swords, yeah, I feel like you guys are dealing with somebody avoidant. Which is hard for you because you're open and communicative and giving. And it's confusing. 7 of Coins. Interesting. So, in the past, it looks like there's this is a very clear reading, it looks like there's an element of somebody waiting patiently, which is probably taking you way out of your comfort zone, because that's not really typically, you know, Sagittarius. But King of Swords, somebody that there's like, it's like, you know what I just got? It's like, why can you be so successful and so deliberate and so normal with everything else in your life, but then when it comes to me, I get, you know, it's kind of like the short end of the stick type feel. But look at what's up next. Palace of Coins. Oh my gosh. This is moving forward. 9 of Swords. Look at this card. So, Sagittarius, I think there's a strong need to just, you know, be patient, focus on your other stuff. If you can't deal with this type of attachment, just be aware that it's an attachment issue. Sometimes what I find is that when people figure out what the issue is, and it's not that they're being discarded, or it may show up as being discarded, that may not be good enough for you, but whether it is or it isn't, whether you can deal or not deal, just knowing and understanding takes away a lot of the pain and discord and upset about it. So this is this 9 of Swords is like almost a painful ending, but no, it's not. This is not over. In fact, it looks like it could progress. Now, of course, you never put yourself in a position to wait or be sad and lonely waiting for someone. You always work on your pentacles and your other areas of your life. The entire, like, the trick to dealing with it and getting over it or moving past it, or, you know, just being able to handle it, is always taking that upset and that energy and putting it back into yourself. Finding those things that give you joy out and internally. It's like there's for an anxious attachment. The name Jennifer just came back to me. So, and I don't know a Jennifer, so just FYI for somebody that might be relevant. But the thing with that, I don't know a whole lot about attachment styles, so this is kind of strange just coming out. But for an anxious attachment person, it's painful because they feel discarded or whatever. But the problem is that with like an ancient attachment person could, not everyone, depends on the severity, but could define their self-worth depending on what that other person thinks of them at the moment. So if things are going well and they're texting you constantly, this is just an example, then that person you'll feel happy and satisfied at that moment. But then even later in that day, if you hadn't heard from them, then the mind can play games and go to things like, oh, now they're mad at me, or oh, I said the wrong thing, or oh, I text too much, or it's kind of like how I feel about myself depends on how you feel about me at that moment. And that being aware of that will help you realize that it is not something you can put on someone else. So that just makes you, and it comes from parenting and childhood stuff, but it makes you realize that you're seeking your happiness and your validation outside of yourself. And that is not ever going to be, if this is a severe issue, then definitely get counseling for this, because it's such a blessing that we even know about this now, because then we can, understand it and feel better about it and work towards it. But there are processes and there are ways to deal with it and feel and not rely on how that other person feels about you at that moment to determine how you feel about you. Okay, we got to work on you feeling about you a certain way that doesn't depend on that other person. And a lot of times that stems from not having enough going on in your own life or being sidetracked from it. So if this is probably just for very few people, but if this is resonating with you, then when you have time, don't let it take away from your work and your other stuff, but look into that, see if it resonates, maybe get some help with it. But the other thing is, take the focus, even if it's hard. I know it's hard. Take the focus off of the person that you're trying to get validation from and put that energy into things you can do. Go to the gym, exercise, get sun on your face, balance your hormones by getting morning sun on your face, not having bright lights in your eyes at night, stuff like that. Hormones can really get out of whack when we don't do these, healthy habits. But this does look like there needs to be, or there is, or there will be, once you do it, forward motion big time in an overall happiness. But this chariot looks like you've got the wind beneath your sails now, but you might have to just really go for it and put some energy to it. But this has a definite beautiful outcome. Possibility, people can get off track. And literally we can take the wrong path if we can stick to it. Or we can always course correct and go back to the path that we're supposed to be on. And I promise you, your path is not supposed to be where you rely on someone else for happiness. Okay, your path is never supposed to be that. It's never supposed to be, I can't be happy without this person. That's not your fault. It is an anxious attachment style. And I have experienced it, and it's not good. Look, I can release my need to control. This is so powerful. And oh my gosh, so powerful. I accept responsibility for my own well-being. How about that? I'm going to read that one, because that kind of goes back to this. It will feel, your mind may trick you into thinking, I'm no good, because it's basically you didn't get fed and supported in some area as a child. And it doesn't mean your parents were bad, but there's something that didn't somehow, somewhere, you developed something, if this applies, something that made you think that you were only good if you had outside validation, and that you haven't gotten past that yet. So that just is something that can be worked on. But let's see what this says. It says, it's so easy to give, oh my gosh, this is so exactly what this reading said. So surrender, or can release the need to control and blame. It's so easy to give away the power to transform your life. Certainly there have been people along your path who have shaped you into who you are today, but you are solely responsible for your own happiness. The ego can be very frail, and if it comes under fire, the first instinct is to blame an outside force. Victim consciousness weakens the connection that you have to your soul source. This mindset says, I don't have the power inside myself to break free because someone else's power is stronger. But that is an illusion. When you believe that someone else is responsible for your problems, that belief is the problem. Personal responsibility can empower you to change your reality. Lasting transformation always begins on the inside and works itself out. There is a difference between a reason and an excuse. So it doesn't invalidate anything. It just says it doesn't matter. It says, yes, it can be those things. You can have the reasons, but they're not. The reasons and excuses are different, okay? So a reason is valid and unavoidable. An excuse is an attempt to shift blame. That was pretty powerful, wasn't it? Let's see. Let's get another growth card. This is kind of crazy. I've never had a reading like this. So maybe I need to learn more about. You guys let me know how this resonated and if attachment styles is something that, you'd like to touch on more. Okay, so why? Sometimes this why card reminds me to start with the end in mind, figure out your why. Why do you want to do the work? Well, not because you feel really like doing the work, or not because you really like doing 100 sit-ups or whatever. You do it because of the why. You find the why. And my why is often my daughter. Let's see, number 31. Okay, so motives, driving, intention, the power of knowing why. This is a great power in understanding your motives right now. Oh wow, it's going to say exactly what I just said. Okay. The Oracle asks you to be very clear about why you're asking the question, looking for the answer, behaving this way, and most importantly, making a choice. Knowing your why is the key to fulfillment. When you're clear about it, your intention will then be a magnet for miracles. Motives define the nature of your experience. When you think about something, feel it, and then act on it. This invisible why is the lifelong energy within the seed, which brings it to life and holds the potential for growth. Okay, so this says this is relationship, we don't always know why we engage in our relationships the way we do, mostly because our feelings aren't always logical. Now is the time to recognize whether you're being triggered by someone else or if your behavior is motivated by unresolved issues of the past. Wow. Wow, that is crazy. That was our whole reading. Recognize whether you're being triggered by someone else, which is also a word I said over and over in this reading, but never usually say. Okay, being triggered by someone else, or if your behavior is motivated by unresolved issues of the past. When you ask yourself, why am I feeling like this, and why did I say that, and spend some time in introspection, the answers may be surprising. Listen to the messages from your intuition, from the knowing deep within you. What does it tell you about yourself and others? In the end, life is all about being loved. Miracles and deep understanding of your needs and how to get them met are the buried treasures of the why. Uncover them by posing the most powerful question you can ask yourself and your partner today, which is why. There you go, you guys. Wow. Let's talk in the comments, you guys. Please let me know how this resonated. And if any of the words or things I said, were strong signs for you. And I love just when you guys tell me where you're watching from. I love that too. So I love you guys. I am praying for you. I hope you're subscribed and included in all